That ain't working.
Welcome to Funny or Nothing Podcast, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Welcome to the pod. As you noticed, I did not say welcome back to the pod because this is the first episode.
First ever.
Of the podcast. I appreciate you all being here. This is going to be a great time. You're here at the start. You can say you're one of the first investors in the Funny for Nothing podcast. My name is Bruce Gray. This is my pal Kevin Tienken right next to me. Say hello to the people, Kevin.
Hi, I'm Kevin Tienken. If you're coming over from the Bag Fries pod, hey, we appreciate you.
Absolutely. Great people. Great people on both sides of the podcast.
Great people.
So yeah, we appreciate you guys. This is a very fun episode today with our pal Ben Avery, who you know from podcasting.
A lot of editing. Maybe the most editing I've ever done.
No, it's just completely unedited, start to finish. Nothing on the cutting room floor. We're giving it all to you guys. All the realest stuff you've ever heard. If you want to talk to us and have us read any questions or any concerns on the air, our email you can reach us at is funnyfornothingpod@gmail.com.
FunnyForNothingPod@gmail.com.
Funny, FOR nothingpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at funnyfornothing. No pod, just funny for nothing. That's what it's all about. This is a really fun podcast. I'm really excited about some of the episodes we have coming up. We have a few in the bag already that are real bangers, and they're funny and for nothing. There's no reason, there's no rhyme. It's just a good time. Check that out, huh?
Oh, there is a little.
So sit back, enjoy yourself, enjoy the episode. I love you all. If you need anything, feel free to holler. Don't look either of us in the eye if you see us in public. Thank you very much, folks. Enjoy the episode.
That's the way to do it.
People always send me like the worst thing imaginable, and they go, "Saw this and thought of you."
Yeah. I've done that a lot of times to you.
They'll send me like a guy with Down syndrome running across like 4 lanes of traffic on a freeway and like exploding. And they go, "Saw this today, and I thought about you."
I saw this sweatshirt that says, "I don't
100%.
know." Yeah. Says, "I don't know where I'm going, but I'm gay." This is a sweatshirt I saw at a thrift store in Madison, Wisconsin. And I was like, Ben would really like that.
Dude, everything that there's a certain category of shit that's like offensive and funny, and I don't have anywhere to send it except for you.
You
or my
message it
son.
to me though.
Yeah, I send it to you. That's our only form of communication lately.
It's nasty.
Has been, hey, here's a midget who has Down syndrome trying to play golf. Like, these are all things that remind me of you.
I know.
He's listening to Mac DeMarco. He has a horrible swing.
I feel like people just have like the way people know me. It's like this emotional chum bucket of just like bullshit, and then they just like they throw it in the water, and they go, Ben's gonna love that shit.
But you do.
Yeah, and then I do.
You do.
And then I come up, and then I'm you know.
Don't try to play.
I can smell it from miles away. I find it.
Because you're trying to play like a victim right now, where you're like, people send me this stuff. I don't even know.
My mom literally told me, she's like, I thought about you the other day, and I was like, oh, that's really.
I saw a homeless guy eating his own diarrhea soup.
I saw a homeless guy doing a handstand and shitting into his own mouth.
You're such a great son.
I love you.
The communication you guys are talking about, though, is seemingly a very like new age, but kind of old school form of communication that like two older guys have together, where the only communication they have is through like nasty chain emails, like how to get your wife to suck your dick from the back, and they're like, you guys got to check this shit out.
I remember in the early 2000s, one time I saw some football coach. He opened an email from another football coach, and they're all just, they're all just
pieces of shit.
Yeah. Fucking lubing up their cocks with tobacco spit.
Oh, yeah. Their whole life
masturbating between periods. Class periods.
They get rewarded by
Between their
screaming
wives and
at boys. They just scream at young boys all day. And people are like, he's a great coach.
Yeah.
He's a great coach.
All they do, they just go out there and they call people
Hawaiian noises.
Can I say
Hawaiian noises?
Might bleep it out. Okay,
well,
I'm trying to clean up my image.
I'm not. Dude, I'm sick of these people who are on the precipice of success. Always on my fucking podcast. Can you edit that out? I'm like, why don't you be a better person?
I'm trying to be independent.
But I remember he opened this one email, and me and my friends saw it. And you know those emails you'd open back in the day? I mean, obviously we weren't on email when we were 12, but Kevin, you might remember this. and email would come in, and it said like porn freak, and it was like awooga, awooga, and it just said porn freak on the screen, and he was laughing his ass off.
It was like
and
an
me
adult
and my
crazy
friend
phone.
Joey like leaned and looked at it.
Yeah.
We were like,
Is this at your Christian high school?
Yeah, I mean, looking back, it was really satanic. But I don't know if it was
But that coach is
Christian.
probably just there, like, because that's like my friend. One of my friends is a track coach, and he like doesn't give a shit. Like he would coach wherever. He's just trying to move to like the higher next thing. So it's that guy's probably like, oh, it's fucking all these people around here, a bunch of fucking idiots. I want to look at Porn Freak.
I know.
It's like an adult crazy frog.
I remember that guy, because the guy who sent him the email, because I'm pretty sure we saw them talking about it in the hall. These two motherfuckers. One time, dude, they would do this thing in practice. I don't know if you guys had coaches like this, where if one guy fucked up, then everyone got punished.
Yeah.
Which it makes no sense.
Yeah, but that's team mentality.
Yeah, but that's
How you get stronger as a
If
group.
you see a Full Metal Jacket, it's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
They're beating him with bars of soap, and then he kills himself. It doesn't make the unit stronger.
Coaches are also fucked
I mean,
in the
some
head.
would say it might. You
Yeah, I
know?
guess
I
you're
mean, you
right.
imagine that guy's in a foxhole. These guys they're just math to them. You know what I mean? Like, he noisy, put him away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Private Pile would have made a great meat shield, though.
Yeah. And he would have been solid for, like, I don't know, to, like, give to the enemy. Like, here's a fuck pillow. And
like he's like
enjoy.
a jewel for a Native American. He's like,
Yeah.
Take this
And he just,
jewel.
like, gives him a smile. just like, hello.
Dude, I had a coach. So the football coach at my school was my PE coach, and during my PE period, the special ed class would walk the track, and there was this kid at my school in the special ed class named William, who was like 6'6", 300. And every single time he would see him, he would turn to like whoever was closest to him and be like, man, if I could just get William out there. If I could just get him out there on the fucking offensive line, defensive
son,
line.
you like playing ball?
It's literally he like salivated over seeing this guy every time because he was like, if I could get his ass out there, we'd be fucking winning because the team sucked. He's like,
Oh,
we'd
when
be
those
so
guys
much
saw
better.
Blindside for the first time,
Oh,
they were pitching a tent in the theater. They were fucking hard.
Oh my God.
Seeing a 6'9" guy like that's that big walking through.
Yeah.
I remember the coach. The guy I'm talking about. He would like wobble in, and he saw a big yellow puddle on the floor of the locker room. And he's like, "You're a bunch of fucking animals, you fucking retards! You're pissing all over the floor." Dude, he was so mad. And then he just ran us.
Was it
like he was
piss?
like, "Get back out on the field!
Oh, yeah.
Get the fuck back out there!" And we had to all run back out instead of showering.
It was
Yeah.
piss?
And we had to run, dude. So get this, we had to run for like we were throwing up.
Yeah.
And then he finally went in and he found, how you could take the little spongy thing out of a highlighter?
Yes.
The
Jesus
little
Christ.
marker
Yeah,
part?
yeah.
And it's just a highlighter had bust in someone's backpack and it dripped out and he just assumed it was piss.
It's like neon yellow liquid.
And like he didn't apologize.
And you ain't even hydrated neither. You're neon yellow piss. Get some goddamn water in there.
Dude, we had Mr. Hip, which is my band coach, and I remember fucking...
Sounds like a cool guy.
Dude, he was
Mr. Hip?
he was very hip. Dude, he...
How do you spell that?
HIPP, baby. He was,
2 Ps.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he was...
What's his address?
69, 420. But I remember he was like real effeminate, but he was fucking one of the students' mom. Ended up marrying her.
Wow.
Yeah.
That pause between student and mom was real long.
Fucking a
I
student.
perked up when I
Yeah,
heard
when fucking one
student.
of the
Mom?
students, yeah.
But
No.
then I can, the idea of a MILF is cool too.
But he I remember him
very
on
sweet.
on the field. It's like fucking 6:30 in the morning, and he's Justin, stop fucking around, and he throws a full cup of coffee at Justin, and then made the whole band like I'm playing my snare drum.
He assaulted a child.
Coffee on it?
Yeah,
Hot coffee?
we had to crab walk for 2 miles.
The band?
Yeah, I was like with my fucking snare drum. He's like, keep your heads up. I want to see those plumes straight. Like, like just like, and we're like, oh, freaking out, and just because Justin was fucking around.
What was he doing exactly?
I don't even. He's probably just talking.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But dude, this guy missed. I've told you about this before. But this is the guy. He was a band director, and in his previous job, he was up on a scissor lift over the 50-yard line directing the band, and fucking fell off, compound fractured his own arm that pierced his body.
Oh my God.
And so he had
you
this
told me
huge
this, yeah.
scar on his abdomen, and was just like super effeminate. But
After that or before? Did that
It
shocked him into being effeminate? Like he used to be having to really.
hey guys, watch those marches. Oh, I think I've broken something. Jesus, I fucking spit on myself.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, he was but he.
I fell off a ladder once, but I landed in a pussy.
Folks, we're back. Dude, my dad fell off the
And
ladder.
a 1 and a 2.
1, 2, 3, pussy. Dude, my dad fell off the ladder twice in one day once while he was putting up Christmas lights. He was hammered, and I watched him. He fell off the ladder into a bush, and it wasn't a big deal. And then not even 30 minutes later, he just absolutely ate shit. And it's weird to see your dad in a compromising position, in a way that he's not in full control.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
him falling to the ground completely
being emasculated by gravity.
Yeah, completely horizontal and falling like he was fucking mankind or something. Dude.
Is my dad Homer Simpson?
Yeah, dude,
He just
it was-
fell off the roof.
It was fucking
Yeah.
brutal, dude.
Was he,
That's an
break,
ocean. What?
Did he break anything?
No, he's a fucking bull rider. Dude knows how to fall.
fine.
And he was drunk. He's drunk, so he was loose enough to whatever.
He's fine. He got in the car and drove to the hospital.
Yeah, dude. My dad. That's what I was talking about before. I don't remember how much I talked about it. You talking about Dylan Mulvaney reminded me that my dad is sober now. He goes to meetings and shit.
Yeah.
When did he get back?
Probably 2-3 weeks ago.
Fuck,
but
he
I
was
was
Sober off
July.
booze, or was he
yeah,
sober
booze.
off of? Nice,
Bud Light.
yeah.
My dad, very conservative dude who got whenever the Bud Light stuff came out, he was like, I don't give a fuck, and posted on Facebook. He's like, I don't care who loves whatever. I'm fucking gonna keep drinking Bud Light and doing this. And then 2 weeks later, he went to rehab for Bud Light. After he said
This shit's too gay.
Fuck the bullshit. He's like, I'm fucking out of here.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, dude, but we got into a very small argument whenever I was home because he was going to a meeting and he had on a Margaritaville shirt. And I was like, I don't think.
Still dressing like an alcoholic.
But that's all he has.
Yeah.
He
You gotta
literally-
tell him, it's like, dude, it's like a snake. You gotta shed your skin.
Yeah,
And Like, it's better to go naked than in that.
I told him it was like wearing a 9/11 rock shirt to the 9/11 memorial. And then truly, dude, I swear to God, I talked him out of wearing it, and we went through his closet, and it was just brewery bar, booze, brewery bar, and the only shirt that we were able to find was a T-shirt that said Barstow Community College, and he wore that to the fucking meeting.
It's like it's like a crop top.
Yeah, it's a
way
slutty T-shirt with a stud coming out of it. Yeah, dude.
He's breaking down, telling his story in a crop top.
Dude, he
How long
was.
has he been sober now?
I think a month and a half.
Oh, okay, so this, it might not stick.
He's pretty gung ho about it. He because he had to work. He works out of town a lot, and they had him staying at a casino. And he was he left there and went to a hotel that was 15 miles away because he's like, I don't want to be around all this shit. So he seemingly is pretty into it. He likes going to the meetings because he goes to meetings and he calls me. He's like, these people are so fucked up. You wouldn't fucking believe it. All these people are smoking fentanyl. What the fuck is fentanyl? Yeah. And he's saying that whenever he was in a 30-day thing, that it's all these young people from all over the country. He's like, these people are fucking half-ass fucking idiots.
What a fucking loser.
Yeah, he literally is like, these people are in there, they don't care about fucking nothing. This guy fucking ran off and went down the street and got all fucked up. And he's like, what a fucking idiot. He's here from Ohio. What the fuck, you gonna come all the way from Ohio to fucking get sober and go smoke fentanyl? And he
Makes a good point.
Yeah, he didn't even know what fentanyl was, and then he came
yeah.
out. He's like, "All these fucking idiots are smoking fentanyl and shit." He's like, they're all in there. They're all dressing like whores. It's just so funny because he's like, "They're treating us like there's some kind of fucking party. We're all trying to get better here."
Meanwhile, he's dressed in a Jimmy Buffett, like a Margaritaville.
But it's
like he's wearing shutter shades and a bucket hat to AA meetings.
But he's also
get a load of these fucking losers.
But he's
wearing a beer cap. He's got the beer in there.
Yeah.
He's like, it's the only cap I got.
and soda. Yeah, I think it's just so funny that he's in just the way they kind of don't. The way almost they classify a DUI, if you get pulled over for smoking weed and you're super high, that's a DUI. And I had a friend who had to get an alcohol thing to blow in because he got pulled over for being high and they just didn't have any way to classify it. So he's in this 30-day thing, and he just is a guy who loves Bud Light, and that's the only thing that he chugs, and that's his thing. But he's in class with these meth head fentanyl guys, and he's like, I just like to have a good time, fellas. Okay, I'm not.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's talking about how they would take field trips to the beach, and he's like, these guys are fucking idiots. They never even seen the ocean. Yeah. He's like, these guys are from fucking Montana.
Your father was just addicted to being an issue.
Kind of.
He's
yeah.
addicted to being a burden.
Yeah. But he was annoying.
Yeah.
But he's solid. I was home last time. We went fucking kicked it at the river, just chilling. He's a delight.
Is he
great.
doing the dry drunk thing now? Where
No, he's going to
he doesn't
classes
know
and
how to
shit.
have a good time.
No, I think he.
Is he like a Manchurian candidate? Just
No, I think he, because like him and my mom have been like I think he's excited to be doing things at night instead of just like drinking beer in the garage. So like they're like going out and like doing things, and he's like going to these classes and like they tell you shit where they're like talking about how fixing your relationship better and like how you got to like basically like start date, even though they've been married for 40 years. He's like, you got to basically like start dating your wife again. And he's like,
you got a titty fucker.
yeah, you get to experience everything again. And he's like, what about the back? He's like, they're like, go hit it from the back. Who cares? Like, so he's
They're
like,
at church as a guy, like, hey, you guys, you get it fresh again out there. Hit it from the back. Do what you can. If your lady's comfortable with it and have a conversation.
Amen.
Put it in the back door. Freshen it up, folks.
we stopped going to church when my dad said that the pastor talked too much. He didn't like the pastor.
That is such a like stoic dad, like Western guy thing of like he should just stand up there and stare.
Yeah,
he
basically.
should gape at the horizon.
He almost would get mad at him for like repeating material also, because you know how like because I've talked to Kevin about this, like it's hard to be a pastor. You got to break out like a new hour every week. That's fucking hard.
That's wild.
And so my dad would be like, I fucking heard that shit he said.
You're doing a Song of Solomon.
He didn't want to talk. He would hate having to talk to people at church.
I've talked to pastors; they have crazy good memories where they
yeah.
can do a new hour every, and some of them know it word for word. They can just
the church I was
memorize
going
it.
to.
They don't have a set list that's like a one-word thing where
Yeah,
it's like Psalms. Like,
piece of
oh
paper
yeah,
they
I
bring
got
out
that
the
6-minute bit on Psalms.
Dude, they did this Song of Solomon series at my church, and it blew up. And so he kept doing it.
It blew up like viral, or like
A lot
community?
of people came and they wanted to check because he'd be up there and he'd be talking about Song of Solomon's gnarly, dude. It's love letters. It's like sexy. It's like I want to lay under your tree.
Oh, I think I know how the sermon goes. It starts when I was 23. I got involved with the Russian mafia.
When I was 23, I got involved with the Song of Solomon.
And then he took his shirt off, right?
Oh yeah,
That'd be cool. I would go if you went to church and the guy like came out and like ripped his shirt off and we're like like at like a non-denominational church where like a cool pastor takes his shirt off.
I'd prefer, white church needs to change a little bit.
Yeah.
A white church like that sounds way better because white people need to start doing a version of black church.
Yeah, black
but
church
they can't
is
just
awesome.
do black church. They got to do white black church.
dude. That's where I grew up, baby. That's what
White black
what
church?
it was.
You grew up in a black church?
It was Southern Baptist. Yeah, I mean it wasn't black.
he's a
church.
That's not a black church.
He's a church drummer, dude. You don't think he's been doing
I played
gigs
in
all
a
around
shit
town?
ton of
That's-
black churches.
That's church lady church.
No, your church is church lady church.
My church is like it's close to like juggling rattlesnakes church.
Yeah.
Was your church like a dirt floored fucking? Every time
My church was
time
like-
I hear about your church, it sounds like it sounds like there will be blood.
My church was like we stood on a highway and watched the sun go down, like in silence,
sounds
and
like-
then we went home.
Praise God.
That sounds like a mice and men for some reason.
And some of us got hit by cars, and that's just what it was.
That's just we didn't talk about it, and your dad
God's
didn't bring it
will.
up again. Did you guys see that video of that pastor, black dude, where he's hooked up to like the share or like whoever he has like cables hooked up to him, and he's like on stage, and then he like lunges, and the cables pick him up, and he like goes out over the crowd, and is like doing all kinds. It's so
that's awesome.
fucking funny.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's such a waste of money. It's Oh my god, it made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, but we had. I mean, like our pastor was like the dude. There's a documentary on a church right now that's out that is so similar to my church, where it's like it was very casual, no ties. The pastor wore jeans. That was a big deal. The music
Get
was
your ass
loud.
kicked for that. We're doing that in some places, dude.
Dude, yeah. Oh, dude,
Being a
Ben's
jean-wearing
place.
pastor.
Ben's the Church of Christ stuff. You dress up for church. You know what I mean? Like, and the no singing stuff. Like, it's hardcore. That's why when you're like white people, I'm like, Jesus, dude. The span of white people churches is insanity. It
A lot of
goes
times
such extremes.
on this podcast, because I was telling Tyler about it the other day that I think every time I went to church, I just completely disassociated. And so I know nothing about the Bible. And Kevin will be explaining shit to me. I'm like, dude, no fucking way. Like, it just ends up Kevin explaining the Bible to
You
me.
do strike me as like totally schizoid.
That's totally schizoid.
Yeah. Like you can split into another person and you can become a ghost. You can just sit
I'm just sitting and
it washes over you. And,
oh, dude.
Like you're unaffected by things.
Yeah, I was in a jacuzzi. I talked about this the other day. I was in a jacuzzi in Madison this weekend, and I had like AirPods in because I was listening to sets, and like these kids came into the jacuzzi in the hotel with their parents, and I probably looked so fucking insane because I was just sitting there like 1,000-yard stare.
What were you listening to?
My sets, like comedy.
That is insane.
Yeah, but it was
fucking insane.
I wasn't listening to it, be like, damn, I'm so fucking funny. I was listening to yeah. Damn, that was a good fucking riff I did. No, and I also I probably don't look like a friendly person when I'm doing that, and I have like.
And look at his new tattoo.
I have a white trash ass tattoo.
I saw that.
That's
nice, like a little Coulter Wall sort of tattoo.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm a real cowboy.
I do like that about you. You are a bit of a cowpoke.
Yeah, I think I've come into it more, and I probably repressed it for a long time because I was like being from Bakersfield, like liking country music and whatever.
No, that shit's cool.
Oh, I love it, but it's like I think for a long time I repressed it because I was like, fuck this place, fuck this, fuck that. And then now I'm like, oh no, I love being where I'm from.
It puts hair on your chest.
Yeah, dude. You don't even want to see, dude. There's so much there.
It puts hair on your
It's all blonde.
As he takes a swig.
Yeah,
Dude,
a swig of my distilled water.
Ben thought that was vodka for a second when he got here.
You guys were trying to get me to relapse.
Dude, I had
a bit of a slip up.
I had a couple of things I wanted to do to fuck with you on this, but I don't want to make you relapse. Plus, you already have your full 2-gallon jug of cum
vodka
that you bring every.
Yeah.
Dude, what is that? It's just water.
It's just water from my refrigerator.
You say you've convinced me.
You're gonna open it. There's gonna be like rocks, and he's like, "Well, you put the rocks in there. You're actually getting a lot of iron."
It's a pancake batter.
He's sucking it through that thick ass straw.
Dude, when you got sober, you got into a bunch of shit deep. Like,
what do you mean?
Like you got into a lot of different stuff. Like you really threw yourself into like editing. You're writing a book now, right?
Yeah, I've been writing a lot. Yeah.
That's why, like, when I'm thinking about like Bruce's dad, coming out of this whole thing because he was sitting in his garage, like you have this.
My dad got into porn. That's all he does now is watch porn on the big screen TV.
He's in Act 3 of Boogie Nights right now. He's sucking off people in a truck.
Yeah.
He's just Bruce, clutching his coin.
Hey, Bruce, Nan, you got to come see. Look at, he's just fucking her, isn't he? He's just on the TV. Isn't he just giving it to her?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Nice. Look at that. Look at Roller Girl on the screen there. Look at her big floppy titties.
I was telling Bruce about your sauna.
I gave that to my mother and father.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Because my dear mother has, she has problems with her nervous system. And
okay,
yeah, so she has a lot of pain in her joints and stuff. And my dad loves. My dad wasn't excited about it, but I told him it simulated as if you were dead and in hell.
Yeah, burning in hell.
Yeah, dude.
See if you can withstand the fucking gates of hell.
I just went home. I was like, "Are you guys enjoying the sauna?" And my dad goes, "I've been. It's the best thing. I get in there." And I sweat for an hour and a half, and I get out, and I'm so thirsty, and I feel sick, and I have night terrors all night. A little guy with a head like a lantern, he pokes me with a stick, and I have sleep paralysis.
But man, you are such a good boy. I was gonna say that they're using it for storage, like they're putting like towels in there and shit. They're just like putting all this bullshit. And you're like, what the fuck?
They use it a lot, but the thing is, he's using it at a detriment to himself.
An hour and a half is too long.
He's just every night now. He's dehydrating himself. He just wants to punish himself all day.
Yeah. I was gonna say he's probably like, finally, what I deserve.
Yeah, that's what it is. So it gets him really high at the. It's a hell simulator for him. So whatever. It's fine.
You think that he's doing?
That's
it?
Not
he's
how
gonna die and go to heaven, and I'll be there with him.
And then you'll get your sauna back.
Yeah. Heaven, that real place.
He'll be there. No, one day I'll pass, and I'll be riding on a white horse through those gates, and I'll see my father.
You'll be on a desert highway riding a Harley Davidson.
That's heaven to me, dude. Yeah, that's my idea of heaven, dude. It's just being on a Harley.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing.
Being in a Neil Young music video.
The best thing I think that came from your drinking was that night where you made us play Unknown Legend by Neil Young like 15 times in a row. And then now I really like that song.
Wait, when did I do that?
I don't know. We were in Kevin's car and we were.
Was I sober or drunk?
You were drunk. You were drunk and I was drunk, but we had gotten drunk separately.
I would do that where I would get really hammered and I listened to a song like 80 times.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, all right, well, I'm going to go down to the gas station and fight some strangers.
Yeah. You're getting pumped up by Neil Young songs at your house. Yeah. No, I remember you were listening. We were putting that song on and you kept turning. You were in the front seat and I was in the back and you kept turning around and say, "This song means so fucking much to me."
Yeah.
And then we would just keep cranking.
It's
cranking.
so good.
Oh, I love it. Now
if you're going to listen to a song 100 times, it should be
a good
that.
one.
Yeah.
Dude, you'd call me at like 1:30 in the morning and be like, "Hey, like, what are you doing, man?" And you're like, "Just sitting in the dark." Just like,
it's a hell simulator.
I'm just staring at my wife who's asleep with earplugs and a blindfold.
and I'm like, "Do you need a friend, buddy? You want to hang out?" You're like, "Sure." And you come over, you're fucking 6 sheets to the wind, dude. And
staring at your wife through a spotter scope.
I'm so sorry, Kevin. You saw me in, they say life's like a valley and a mountain.
Dude, I saw
I don't
you.
know which.
I
if
saw
I'm in the valley or the mountain
everything.
right
I
now,
saw
but-
everything for 6 years. Yeah, I saw it all.
You know that speech about the drop of water?
Like the torture?
No.
Oh.
I think Edward James Olmos gives it to Joaquin Phoenix in that documentary, I'm Still Here.
Oh, I don't
says-
remember. Is that where he's like a rapper?
Yeah. So
I
Edward,
very loosely remember that.
Yeah.
the guy from Star Trek with all the acne. What's his name? Edward James Olmos. He's like,
Yeah.
He looks like a.
Such a weird description, but
With all the
Edward
acne,
James Olmos does
yeah.
have all the acne scars.
He's the academic version of like Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like Danny
yeah,
Trejo
yeah,
if he
yeah.
read a book once.
Yeah. He's if Danny
offense to
Trejo is
Danny
Malcolm
Trejo.
X, then he's
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King.
That's
yeah.
right. But he gives a speech to him where he says he puts a little drop. And by the way, in the scene, they all think Joaquin has completely lost his mind and giving up his acting career. If you know the documentary,
Yeah, I saw it.
where they tricked the media into thinking Joaquin was insane. It's one of my favorite.
They tricked
docs.
they tricked everyone into thinking that was real, right?
That
Yeah.
he was quitting acting to be a rapper, and
Yeah.
Casey Affleck was just following him around, filming him for a
Yep.
year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And tricked the whole world into this. So Edward James almost like comes to him thinking his friend's in distress, and he puts a drop of water on the table, and he goes, "That's you, and that's me, a drop of water, and you're a mountaintop water drop, and you're on top of the mountain, and one day you start sliding down the mountain, and you think, wait a minute, I'm a mountaintop water drop. I don't belong in this valley, in this ocean, in this river." And then one day you evaporate and you go way, you float up high all the way to the heavens, and you realize, I forgot how it fucking ends. Who gives a shit, actually? Fucking gay.
That's Kevin pumping you up whenever you're drinking.
Who gives a fuck?
What is the
It
finish?
ends where it's like, you see the
meaningful.
light through the cracks. Who gives a shit? You can look it up.
This is
What the fuck?
I was very locked in on the quote.
Okay, I think I can actually do it where he says, and then one day you float high all the way to the heavens, and you realize, it's something about the journey is important, and you have to invade those invisible pools in your soul, where he says the lights, they don't let you see that inner light within you, because you have to be in darkness for the light to come out of those cracks. And then he points at the camera and he goes, but the lights, they don't let you see the inner light. And he goes, and Joaquin's just like staring at him. He's like, nice, dude. And then he just goes on then he picks up his phone and just calls a hooker to come over and suck him off. It's a great documentary.
Oh man.
Wait, so what? Why was what popped in your mind when I was talking about you?
Well, that was my I'm still here phase, where I was like, I was wandering around I was in the wilderness, so to speak. I was
mental wilderness?
Yeah, I was like a hermit. My soul was a hermit. It hadn't found its shell yet. So I had to ascend.
Yeah.
I had to ascend and kill the beast and returned with the loot.
I thought you said we weren't going to talk about that.
Specifically before we're like, dude, don't talk about my ascension into heaven and the loot and everything. It's like, dude, here's a list of things I don't want to talk about. One of them is my ascension into heaven, the loot.
Don't talk about the beast.
Perfect. Oh man.
But during those times, I was so insane that not even I don't think even God's wandering eye noticed me down because I was deep in the darkness. I was basically like a guy who like lived under a bed. Like I was so fucked up all the time. I'd crawl out.
What was like the final straw to your drinking that you were like I should probably figure this out?
I don't know. Just you get to a point where you just don't recognize who you are anymore. Like you look in the mirror, you go, "What the fuck?" You become so bitter and so angry, and I don't know. I had all this. They say ambition wears a suit and tie, but I don't believe that to be the case. In fact, actually, they don't say that. They say the opposite of that. They say like ambition doesn't always wear a suit and tie, and I feel like I'm very ambitious, and I have to focus on big projects to be happy. And the problem with if you're that type of person is because I don't like to look life in the eye, right?
Yeah.
I'm like a coward, so I like to focus on a project and try to understand myself and the world through that project creatively. So if I'm doing that, then I'm happier. But also a lot of that numbs you to life because then you're not looking at it in the eye, right?
Yeah.
So then I can get like if I have I don't want one soda, I want 10 sodas. Yeah. If every morning I eat eggs and toast, then I do that all the time. So I can't just do something I do it a lot. So I have to be really careful. I have to leave my phone on the other side of the house.
But that's also self-control, though. That's like knowing that you can't do that because that's.
And then I'll throw myself into writing all day, like, and then I'll lose but I have to lose myself in something. I can't. I haven't figured out how to live in this world, I guess.
Whenever
then I'm trying to do the best version of whatever the fuck I am.
Yeah.
And try to make sense of all this.
When you're throwing yourself into something like that, even if it's productive, does part of you almost are you happy where you're like, oh, cool, I'm doing something productive? Or are you like, God damn it, you're fucking doing that thing where you're obsessing over
No, I really, because your psychology is like, it's really fixed. And this is sort of what you got, and I think you have to pay attention to the things that are interesting to you.
Yeah. And
I'm always pretty loyal to that thing. So if I get obsessed with this or that, like birding or Nikocado avocado, I don't know.
The fat guy?
Yeah. He's a fat guy who eats Taco Bell on a rascal scooter. So if I find those things interesting, like I love The Whale, that movie. Did you see The Whale with Brendan Fraser?
No, but I have heard that you really did like it.
I went to see it 6 times in theaters because I loved it so much.
Somebody told me that, and I was like, no, he's fucking around. He didn't go see it 20 times in the theater.
No, I literally did. Like people had like an intervention with me. They're like,
about The Whale.
My wife was. I came home. My wife was crying. She's like, "You have to stop."
She has all your ticket stubs laid out on the couch. She's like, "What have you been doing?" Well, you didn't tell me.
I'm in a wheelchair like him with the KFC.
Yeah, you're pretending to be super fat. You buy a fat suit.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think you like that movie so much?
I've never seen a story like that. I've never seen that guy's story told ever.
Yeah, they don't put fatzos in movies a lot.
They don't put ugly people in movies anymore.
Yeah, you're telling me.
I just rewatched. I watched Thief for the first time last night with Michael Mann, 1971, James Caan.
No.
Every person in the movie is the ugliest motherfucker you've ever seen.
Oh yeah, all those people.
They're hideous. They're amazing actors.
We were gonna go see Rollerball at New Bev, the like 1970 whatever version.
Yeah.
And even that, where like we were watching like a preview thing of it because I was trying to talk Kelly into going to see it, and we were talking about that literal thing after about like how these people used to look like that. And then there was a big thing talking about like older pop stars, like when pop stars were first like becoming a thing. There were like guys who looked like Rick Astley, or even like older people than that are like half balding but are still like, girl, you know that you're the one for me. And it's like they're like hideous monsters, really, and like
but great singers,
and have zero sex appeal whatsoever. And I don't know, maybe it's turned into kind of a sex-driven society.
That's the journey of Christopher Cross is the journey for us all.
Oh yeah,
I mean, a man who was brilliant at what he did.
He's a hideous monster.
Once video came out and people saw what Christopher Cross looked like, his ticket sales, like. It's insane.
Is he not a good-looking guy?
No,
he looks like.
I mean, he's not like hideous.
I'll be the judge of this.
But he's not like.
You know what he sings though? He sings, although he does what he pleases. Somewhere between the
When you
moon
get caught-
and New York City.
How do you spell his name?
Christopher Cross. Exactly the way you would think.
Yeah.
Is it cross spelled like crucifix?
Cross as him.
Dude, by the way, if there is a heaven and you get up there and Peter goes, "Hey, Ben, why should I let you in?" I imagine you going, "Well, I don't know." I don't know. Like, dude, you're like
I don't know. Why wouldn't you?
You have the personality of a 12-year-old hanging around a room of pedophiles, where you're just like, "Hey guys."
Yeah, I bet you'd love to fuck me. I'm not fucking anybody.
Yeah. You're like,
I am the guy who's kind of walking around with a bunch of like thermite. Where they go, that's Ben. He's never lit the thermite, but it could go off at any moment.
A guy with a bomb vest on, be like, "What if I did? What if
just my hand on the button? What if I blew myself up right now?
What if I just blew us all up right now?"
dude, that's you are. I mean, with the addiction stuff and shit. I
Yeah.
mean, you could all we would have to do is swap out that water bottle, and the vest explodes.
I went to Trader Joe's on the 4th of July. Katie goes, "You want these non-alcoholic beers, these Peronis, 0.0?"
Those are supposed to be the best ones.
I like the Heineken 0.0 as well, but people don't like those. But the Peronis are very good. But
Yeah.
regardless, next to that was a German beer, which was 0.5. And I was like, no, I think I want these, but I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I had one, and
You had 55.
yeah,
You're like, "Whoa,
Yeah,
baby,
baby.
I'm slightly buzzed."
I'm pouring it into a kiddie pool, throwing the bottle.
Baby, you don't know how many people are coming over tonight. You got no clue.
I can't even because
Wait,
dude,
so did you drink them?
yeah, I had them, but
Yeah.
it's a non-alcoholic beer. It's a very, very small
Did it do
trace.
anything?
But the 0.5
I could
is-
still feel like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
something kind
Yeah.
of there. It was the same way I had the problem like a year into not drinking. I was at a bar and I ordered a soda water with bitters, and I didn't know Angostura bitters. I didn't know it had alcohol in it.
Oh shit.
And I was like, "Oh, these bitters taste good." And I went back and got another soda water. I'm like, "Put a lot of those bitters in there."
Yeah.
And then I went back and I was kind of feeling it. And I go, "Oh my god!" And then I looked it up. It's like 50% alcohol. So he was putting a little something.
So you did the
in it.
Chris Farley thing, and you're like, "Oh well, I guess I'm done," and you just immediately do heroin. You're just like,
You go on-
I blew it.
Yeah.
You go on Touch Tunes and play Unknown Legend 55 times.
And then I went back up to the bartender and I put a 20 on the table and I said, "Let me suck your cock."
You're like Jay Leno. You're like, "I'm putting this $20 on the bar, and if I suck your cock good, I'm taking it back. If you don't like the way I suck your cock, you keep the 20." Oh my god, dude. Yeah, we.
So I have to be careful with that stuff. I could just fall into oblivion. I want to eat a ton of food now too. I have to stop doing that.
yeah, but that's I mean,
Like I want to order shitloads of Chinese food and stuff if
Yeah, my
or
dad's
if I'm
on
not
that.
distracting myself.
my dad's on an Arnold Palmer kick right now. I can't get enough. And it's like he's like, this shit comes in a fucking jug. And
Yeah.
he's
Because his sugar's crashing.
Yeah.
Because he's not drinking beer anymore.
Yeah.
And it's
I ate tons of ice cream when I got sober.
that's like the thing. Every time someone gets sober, they
I have big tubs of Tillamook.
yeah, that's good though.
Is your dad a smoker?
Yeah, dog. You know my dad. He crushes Swisher Sweets all day.
Does he really?
Yeah, no weed, just fucking. Pop, pop, pop. He smokes like half of it, throws it down the street.
Does he inhale Swisher Sweets?
Yeah, dog.
Dude, that's a high.
That's insane.
He's,
I used to
that's
do
my
that.
dad. The picture on the wall. He's hardcore.
Oh my god, he's
Yeah.
a real cowpoke.
Legit, yeah. That's a
Man.
picture of him whenever he's younger. He's a legit.
He's on a
ex-bull
bull,
rider,
folks.
tough guy, oil worker.
The only borders he knows have barbed wire.
Yeah, exactly. That's fucking. That's hardcore.
He lives like the fucking Comanche. This guy.
Yeah,
He looks like he knows how to ride a horse mighty well.
yeah. No saddle.
Yeah.
No, my dad. Whenever growing
Oh
up.
wait, is that your mother? He's on.
Yeah, it's so funny that I posted that on Instagram one time, and like 10 people were like, "Oh, that's your mom," and and I'm just like deleting these things as they come back.
Stop.
Like, come on, my mom follows me on here, people. Let's clean it up. No, that's interesting because my dad also whenever he at first like stopped drinking, he was like drinking an Arnold Palmer. He's like, "You ever heard of this shit?" And I was like, "Dude, yeah." He's like, I've heard of more beverages than Bud Light and iced tea. And he's like, "Dude, fucking lemonade right now."
Have you heard of this
Yeah, he
shit?
literally was like, couldn't believe
Yes,
it.
I've heard of iced tea and lemonade.
Yeah, mixed together. He's like, "That's fucking crazy."
Dude,
Dude, wait till he figures out about Sobe.
So he's gonna get back on
dude.
Sobe.
Yeah, he's a Bakersfield
the,
retard.
the big glass bottles.
Yeah,
Sobeys.
it's the nectar of Bakersfield.
Son,
Son, you know they used to have wide mouth bottles of these?
Dude, the coloring on some of those Sobeys where it's like that milky pink.
Dude, fuck it.
I called it on my podcast. I called it horchata soda. It's the most disgusting fucking shit ever.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was-
Sobe? There's 1,000 flavors of Sobe.
But it's like carbonated milk, right?
no, there's a million.
There's some of them I think
flavors.
that are more that are thinner, but the thick
There's
looking
the milk-
Yeah, the
nectar
ones
ass-
that's like white
Yeah.
and pink and shit.
That's
That's like Pepto-Bismol.
That's just one flavor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have a ton of
Well, I
flavors.
don't mean to disparage the good
Dude,
name of Sobe.
I know
Are they
about
around
Sobe.
still?
I mean, don't even get me started on
Yeah.
Fruitopia.
So Sobe used to that wide mouth bottle because it was all thick glass, wide mouth bottle.
just the right size of a 12-year-old's penis too.
Dude, it really was. But
You made a fifi out of your Sobe bottle. and
is-
fucked it.
you could, you definitely could.
You call it a Fifi?
That's what they do. That's what they call it in prison.
Fifi?
They call it a handmade pocket pussy in prison is called a fifi.
I put my hand on the fucking. The dog blends into the pillow.
Yeah,
He
is
you
really
can
chilling
give
hard.
him some love.
Sorry,
It's like
Soupy.
a little love, you know.
I love you,
Completely
Soupy.
laid on the side.
I love you. I want to pick up Soupy and like throw him like a football.
Yeah, you
I want
really
to throw him in a spiral.
Yeah, you want to just a really tight one? No, he's hardcore. He'll fuck shit up.
What were you saying? I don't want to
Sorry.
lose
Oh
this
no,
thought.
the fifi.
Scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, I truly forgot he was there. It's because he goes from yapping to like chilling like that in 1 second, so you completely forget he's
Fuck, he just like really getting comfortable.
But no, there's the guys in jail who are like the king fifi makers, and they make the best fifis, and like people will give them fucking stamps and shit. You know, yeah. You don't fuck with Big Herc, dude. You got to follow Big Herc.
So there's like a Heisenberg in prison
Yeah.
who makes
Yeah,
the
yeah.
best pocket
there's
pussies.
a specialist on everything. Yeah. Also, yeah, a friend of mine one time made.
What's the guy's the
Big Herc.
Big Herc, yeah,
you
on
can-
Instagram.
Can you describe the mechanism in which they put their cock in and masturbate?
I would. If I had to guess, I think it's like I take like a toilet paper roll in the middle, and then like kind of build out around it with probably some other shit.
Oh, but that's the base.
I think so.
So you're fucking cardboard?
No, they make it soft, and I truly do not know exactly what they do. I know that it feels really good. No,
Really?
No, I have no
Do
idea.
they put like a sinew and like tallow and shit in there?
And they
Like,
probably like. Have you ever seen?
you're
the way-
fucking like animal fat, probably.
They do. They've got it. But you've seen the way people will make like knives out of like paper mache, and like there's in prison there's like the knife guy who makes the best knives, and it's very much like a fucking 1800s like cowboy town where you go to that guy for a knife, you go to that guy for a pocket pussy.
Yeah, there's blacksmiths. There's people churning cum. And
yeah. They make a cum lemonade on the thing, one of the tastiest drinks on the whole prairie.
Dude, yeah, that's the best job at the Ren Fair.
Yeah.
Summer job.
churning cum.
I'm the old cum churner down at the Ren Fair.
You've never seen
Great job.
those videos of Big Herc on YouTube, Prison Talk, where he answers like fan questions, and they'll talk, and it'll be like questions where it'll be like, would a midget get their cheeks busted in prison? And he'll be like, that's a good. He's a big buff dude, but he has kind of a lisp, and he'll be like, that's a good question. You know, I was locked up with a couple little motherfuckers, and it just like tells these like crazy stories, and then he sells merch that are cheek. One says cheek buster, which means like some guy who has a lot of sex in prison, and then one that says wig splitter, which is like a guy who fights in prison.
So
A wig
I
split.
imagine a midget is prime real estate in federal prison.
Well, it's probably a good roommate to have because they don't take up much room.
Well, yeah, I mean you can fold them up and put them like in the upper deck of the toilet and
Yeah.
stuff. But
Because you're in a small
by the way,
space.
and also if you're a midget, your chances of escaping are much higher.
Yeah, you would think that they
Yeah,
would
too
grease.
girthy
Yeah,
usually though. That's the problem.
Yeah, they are usually wide.
They gotta
yeah, and they're dense.
work out.
They're heavy.
But I'm imagining because of all the pedophiles in prison, like when a guy gets like a
yeah,
life
you
sentence
don't-
and he's a midget, everybody's licking their chops.
You don't want to
and
be you don't want to be a tiny guy in protective
There's no
in protective
way.
custody.
No, you don't want to.
That's where it'll.
You don't want to be
really-
an LP with a CO. It's no good.
Yeah, dude. There was a
Real quick before I lose my Sobe bottle thought, the things we used to do with the fucking Sobe bottles, besides putting our dicks in them, but we would fill them up with gasoline to the elbow, and then you drill a hole in the top and you put it in a fire, and it would shoot like 90-foot fireballs into the air.
Wow.
So we'd go to
There
Madera.
will be blood. That's really cool.
Dude, it was wild. Because
I drink your Sobe.
my buddy, my buddy,
Fuck boy, Daniel. Dressed up like a juggalo.
Subways. Yeah, what's that? I eat your
I
Subway.
fuck your wife.
I've abandoned my Sobe.
I fuck her up. No, but we would, my buddy in the Madera Ranchos, where all the property is like at least 3 acres or like at least an acre or whatever. I don't know. It's there. It's a big property, but we're
An
back
acre's
there.
half of a football field. Sorry for the layman.
Thank you. That's good. I don't even know.
It's
You
a
know,
little bit bigger than half of a football
I just
field.
throw acre out like I know what I'm talking about. But so we did that, and then the volunteer fire department showed up, and it's a bunch of dudes, older guys.
It's like Officer Doofy from a Scary Movie.
Yeah, dude.
Volunteer.
Some guy goes, "Hey, we got a report of a fireball or something." So there's a structure fire over here, and my buddy Mike is just like, he's like, "I threw some pine needles on the fire. I don't know." Like, cut to 10 minutes ago, the biggest fireball you've ever seen, and he's like, "I threw some pine needles on there a little bit. It cracked some. I don't know about it."
Dude, all of Kevin's stories from Fresno, I'm like, were you guys the little rascals?
Yeah, but you're all 30.
You guys like hopping from like boxcar to boxcar.
the big
Dude, you're
rascals.
fishing down at the dock. You're building chlorine bombs.
Well, dude, imagine being
you're doing January 6th.
imagine being a sober alcoholic your whole life, where you can't do shit ever. So we would.
What do you mean a sober alcoholic?
So you're in high school. What are you doing? You're getting fucked up. You're going around. You're fucking.
I wasn't. I was a good Christian boy.
Oh,
I
you
was
were?
getting fucked
Yeah. No, I was going door to door selling Bibles.
Yeah, right.
Door to door selling ass.
Going door to door selling my pussy.
Hello, sir.
my
Would you
boy
like to? Would
pussy.
you like to fuck me?
Hello, sir. And it's just I have a big neon arrow pointing right here at my
With
hole.
different deals, you could different tiers of stuff you can buy.
Yeah, I would have my asshole would look like like a skee ball thing.
Yeah.
Where you get, it's a point system.
It's an MLM, and like you see, you earn points, and then you get your friends to fuck. You get your friends to fuck me, and you're getting money on the back end from your friends in my back end, and they're fucking me.
Dude, I want to invent, and I'll let you finish the story, Kevin, but I do want to invent that in the red light district. I think it'd be a big thing. If you played skee ball with like a big like dildo that you rolled down a thing and it went up into someone's ass. And there was like a point system with that.
The tickets come out of like a different person's ass. You're like pulling tickets.
And on the little tickets, it's pornographic pictures.
Dude,
I prefer
Jeremiah
more of like a
Watkins.
darts game where you just throw the dildo at an open ass that's just
Oh,
like
and then it
got.
could land.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. 'Cause
Jeremiah Watkins was showing me. I saw him in Phoenix, and he was showing me. He said he had done.
people were throwing dildos in his
No,
ass.
he had done. Yeah, he had done radio that morning. He did radio that morning.
Yeah, major league pitchers were throwing dildos
Yeah.
in his ass
like, dude-
as he played the saxophone.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's his next crowd. It's like a crowd work video with 1 billion views, and it's him playing saxophone while a guy throws the dildo into his ass. But he showed
People
me
are congratulating him, like, dude,
show
saw
me
the
these,
video. Really proud of you, buddy. You really blow
these
it up.
videos that the guys he went and did radio that morning, and these like shock jocks are showing him these videos of like a dude with a chain in his ass, and they're like yanking this chain in and out and pushing it back. It literally looked like where you see videos of dudes working on an oil rig, and they're like wrapping chain, and they're all messy.
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
It was the gnarliest thing I've ever seen, and it was just like an FM radio station.
Oh, they showed that to him on the radio.
On the thing, they're like, "Hey,
Jeez.
Jeremiah, check this out." And it's just like,
you got a funny guy here. He's gonna love this old in and out of the old huge chain.
and it was just a brutal sound.
I remember the end of the mountaintop water drop speech, by the way.
Thank God.
So he says you float up high, all the way to the heavens, higher than you've ever seen. And he goes, so if it's the change you need, relish the journey. Obey those invisible pulls in your soul. That's the whole thing. There you go. I remembered it now.
See, I
so
feel
he's seeing it as this like cyclical thing.
And then he's like, "Right on, man." That's like
it's so fucked up because he's being sincere.
I know.
And he's
I
like,
know.
I'm just fucking around, man. I'm sorry. Like,
him being the
I
way
hope
they,
he was in on it because he seemed really concerned for his friend.
I bet he wasn't.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
probably wasn't.
You don't get that kind of. I mean, unless they, I don't know, who knows? He's a great actor.
I gotta piss real quick. If you guys want to keep talking,
yeah, dude.
I just gotta,
Yeah.
Take
gotta
the
squeeze by Bruce real quick.
dude, don't make it sound like that. Dude.
I gotta prune the hedges. You got a trimmer in there?
Dude, shave your pubes. In that. It takes 20 minutes.
Dude, the construction that was going on outside sounded like a shaver, and Kelly was in the bathroom. I'm like, Bruce, what's going on in there?
My lady's cleaning it up, dude.
You want to explain to the folks at home what happened?
Ben went to the bathroom, and I pressed pause on the thing.
And then you had an Amazon package
And
come.
I got an Amazon package, and it was a belt buckle.
Yeah,
And
and
then
it was a
Bruce-
gun, and we had to pry it out of his hands.
There was a moment where I couldn't get it out of my mouth for a second.
No, there's a Mexican standoff there for a second,
I was
but
like, "Get fucking motherfucker."
we calmed Bruce down. We reminded him
back.
he's a paid regular at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Everything's awesome.
Fine.
I'm making my way $50 at a time.
It's fine.
Dude, is that straight still?
I was gonna say I love that Bruce is finding a new persona in the stoicism of being a cowboy. I think that's a fine thing to pine after.
Yeah,
is to be a cowboy, a cowpoke, if you will.
Yeah, I think like we said a tiny bit earlier, of mostly just like not fighting, kind of I guess the whatever of like where you're raised, because like whenever I was like for a long time I was like country's fucking this, fuck everything, and then I was like no, I actually like all this shit, and I am proud of being like true. I guess one of the only people from where I'm from to be like actually trying to do something.
Yeah, I mean, why fight who you are? It only creates
100%.
tension in yourself. There's already so much tension between you and the world itself. Why have the other battle? You know,
Yeah.
You have to. You know, this was the sword you were given. You might as well, dip it in oil, light it aflame, and wave it around, and be a retard.
I'm also just not as I'm not tough enough to be an actual tough guy cowboy.
No, you have it within you. You come from a long line of guys eating beans out in an open field and looking up at the swarms of stars and their dust.
Yeah.
Out in the
I come from
black
basically a
of
long
night.
line of people that are like in the Sweet Baby James song by James Taylor. I come from a long line of Sweet Baby Jameses, dude.
You also come out. Those guys also, by the way, they fucked animals and stuff.
Yeah,
so
well,
that's also within you.
They got.
They
feces.
did.
Yeah, they.
I just read. I read The Last Picture Show by Larry McMurtry.
Uh-huh.
You know I was made into a movie with Jeff Bridges.
Okay.
You know probably The Last Picture Show.
I don't think I saw it.
You know Last Picture Show?
I didn't see it.
I'm an uncultured guy.
Yeah. Well, regardless,
They fuck
they're in a
animals.
small Texas town. Yeah, and at some point in the book, all the young boys and they're like suey, like they're suey. How does he going?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They're like doing suey noises and shit. And they like raid this barn and they all get in and they all take turns on this big goat and fuck the shit out of it.
Yeah.
You're like 13.
Yeah.
I think that's what boys did back in those days.
I think that if back in those days, I think that's something you
what
could
they
get
did.
into if you,
Being a goat fucker?
yeah, being a goat fucker.
I will say I have seen things before where something stirs down there.
A goat's pussy. Or at the fair.
Like, it piques my interest when I found out that girl was having sex with a pit bull outside of a church like a month ago. Did you see she went really viral?
No, I saw.
No.
I saw the professor that got caught on a trail cam fucking his dog. Did you see that guy?
Yeah, I saw that
He was
too.
like, "My life is over." It was like,
And the internet said it's just begun.
yeah. They're offering him tons
Dude,
of
these
money.
are the kind of stories I really miss. Is you bringing up something like that? Did you hear about this?
You
guys
always hated
fucking
when I
out-
bring this stuff.
Never hated it, dude. Yeah, I it was literally entertainment to go, what the fuck are you talking about? And then you explain,
You're
and
like
then
a-
people know.
You're
There was
like
a lady-
pervert Jay Leno.
Well, seen this? You heard about
You
this?
hear about this? This girl was actually having sex with her dog.
A child was beheaded and he got skull fucked.
It's crazy stuff.
Yeah, you would always say things like, you'd be like, yeah, I like it when people fuck with me. And then, like you'd be the butt of the joke on a lot of stuff. And then on the podcast, you'd bring up, hey, you hear about this guy who was fucking goose? He's fucking a goose in a park and they caught him. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And then I'm thinking that's just fodder for the pod. And then when I talked to you the other day, you're like, oh, we always fought. We were like two sides of the same magnet. I'm like,
How did the
what
girl,
are you talking about?
How did the girl get
Fucking
caught
idiot.
fucking her dog?
Well, I mean, she was having sex with it.
Well, I know.
Someone goes, is that woman having sex with a dog? And then they go, I think I'm going to call the police.
She's on top. The dog is laying down, and she's like, "Oh man!" But
She fucked a dog outside of a church, and I think people were walking out of the church, and they were like some lady like raised like a
Oh,
long
my.
pirate. Like thing.
someone starts fanning themselves. A woman faints
Pull out a spyglass.
Yes, my glass.
because that.
Ahoy!
Someone glassed the hill, and they go, I think a lady's having sex with her dogs.
Oh my God.
That
It
professor
was a
got
big pit bull.
A lady pulls out some opera glasses.
that professor got caught on a trail cam. So like some like hunter was like setting stuff up to see like what moves through, and then imagine that though. You're like trying to see like elk or deer or like stuff to go hunt, and then you're checking out your trail cam and you see like some weird college
Dude,
professor.
people are starting
fucking
to
dog.
see weird stuff on trail cams. There were some Satanists caught eating a dead deer on the ground on a trail cam. These ladies with long hair, like they crawled like spiders from these black shrubs and moved over, and then they were feasting upon like the guts of a dead animal.
Jesus.
In the light of a trail cam with their eyes like glowing red like coals. Like it was like it was crazy, and then they just like they shifted off into the night.
Probably feels.
And they were naked.
Do they think that they're
I think
like
I saw that in
Which
open
was
mic.
nice.
which I actually liked. You know something about me is that I love a naked lady. So people think that they're like some like supernatural beast, or people think they're like two chicks who are.
It was Kamala Harris. It was Kamala and Nancy out on the town.
Her husband Doug. Fucking
Doug
idiot.
Pelosi.
Oh, not Nancy, but no. Sorry, her husband. I was thinking of
Kamala?
Kamala Harris's husband is Doug.
His name is Doug?
That's the second gentleman, buddy.
Wait. I didn't even know she was married. I
Kamala
assumed
Harris?
she was born without a vagina.
No, you said vagina like Trump.
Vagina.
Vagina. Did you-
I'm assuming if anyone married that woman, they strictly put it in her
No,
ass.
Doug. There's Doug, and then
No,
there's
Doug.
dude,
Doug's digging.
There's a video.
Does he have a penis?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Do they have children?
Yeah,
No.
I don't know.
Good Lord.
there's a
I don't know
video.
that.
woman lives in sin.
There's a video of Doug and Jill Biden after Jill Biden gets done with like a speech, and she like turns around. No bullshit. Jill Biden and Doug kiss on the lips, in a very casual way.
I do a spit take.
Yeah, you vomit.
Well, Biden's
It's very weird.
Biden's like, if you buy his story, he's the guy that kisses you on the lips.
Stop.
That he just
I was talking to the dog.
he does that when the dog's not here. Just look at my dick and go, knock it off.
Well, I think you started a thought that
About Joe Biden
I don't think
and-
there were enough words.
Joe
Nah.
Biden. Yeah, Joe Biden's a sexless.
You said the word.
Oh.
You said the word "the" and trailed
No,
off.
he's the guy that
he's a hair
kisses
sniffer.
people and sniffs hair, and
Who?
he's just a sweet old guy. Joe Biden. That's the story.
President Biden.
Yeah, President
I know him.
Joseph
I know who
Biden,
that is.
who's like kissing little girls and like sniffing their hair and like I think this is just that's who he wants to be. Like
I think
that's
he's a gentle grandfather.
yeah. So that's probably why he's kissing people on the lips. He's just like that's how I do it. I kiss them on the lips.
What happened with that Paul Pelosi thing? The hammer guy, that kind of went away, right? Was that something?
I don't know. I don't follow any of this stuff. All I know is that he almost got killed with a hammer, and I was like, awesome.
Yeah,
and then I
a guy
just
was
kept
in-
driving.
Yeah, a fat guy who looks kind of like me a little bit, was just chilling in there. It used the police body cam, and they open the door, and Paul Pelosi's in his underwear, and they're chilling, and then they're just like holding on to Paul Pelosi, and they look like buddies, and then the guy just fucking. The cops go, "Hey, don't!" And then he just fucking swings
Yeah,
around
yeah, it
and
was
whacks him
awesome.
and then bonks him on the head like Gallagher.
Shit, I didn't see that footage.
Yeah, that's the. I love hearing him stuff like they're like, oh, Nancy Pelosi, she was almost assassinated. I'm like, great, awesome, good. I hope all of them get killed and shot. I hope they all get beheaded
I'm
on
not going
live
to do it.
television.
I don't have the
Great.
drive to get into that kind of thing. But if somebody cares enough, good for them. They they care about they have strong feelings towards whatever.
Not my president.
We were talking about Well, I was talking today about RFK. I just think he's super funny.
Oh, you guys get political on this podcast?
Not at all. But I would just we went down this path, and
Okay.
I mainly think
All right.
that RFK's voice is.
I should
super
have
funny.
watched some Bill Maher before this interview.
Club Random, dude.
No, dude, you're
the worst lit podcast in his. Have you ever seen videos of it?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
we,
like the darkest, spookiest looking.
Did you see the Richard Dreyfuss clip of him? There's so Richard Dreyfuss did the show, and Bill Maher's such a narcissist. Richard Dreyfuss from
Yeah.
Jaws.
Yeah.
Matt Hooper. You know Jaws.
Yeah.
right? He plays Matt
Yeah,
Hooper.
yeah, yeah.
And What About Bob?
yeah
You know what I'm talking about.
yeah
He's-
Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait a second. You talking about Richard Dreyfuss?
Matt Hooper.
Richard Dreyfuss. Okay.
So Richard Dreyfuss.
Hold on, let me wrap my head around this real quick. Okay, old Dick Dreif. All right, continue, please.
So Dick Dandruff is sitting there.
Thank you.
And Bill Maher's such a narcissist that he doesn't acknowledge how high Richard Dreyfuss is. He's sitting, no shit. I swear to God, I can't even do
Mike.
it because of this table. He's doing this. He's sitting this, his ass and legs are completely out of the chair, and he's doing this, staring at Bill. And Bill's like, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, about like, why would anybody believe there's a God? You know?
Yeah.
Just like, right.
He's dead. I want to make sure this doesn't get unplugged. The thing. The fucking H6.
Sorry.
He's just half dead on the fucking thing.
Dude, you got to see it. He's literally he's sitting in the chair with his neck. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Bill Maher
That's
smokes
wild.
Bill Maher smokes a ton of bud, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He 420 blazes
Yeah.
it.
Dude,
He was supposed to come to the Comedy Store, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of exciting. I wouldn't mind getting eyes on him." That's the way I feel about celebrities now is that I don't care to like meet anybody or take a picture with them. I kind of just want to get a glimpse of them and be like, huh.
Dude, it's funny watching Mar deal with like, because he's always been a leftist guy, you know, he's always been a Democrat guy, but now like with all the gender stuff, he's like, he doesn't know what to do. Because he's like, what the, because he's always been the guy who's like plain talk, like straight, like, it's, come on. I mean, it's obvious. Like, and it's interesting to see like him lose like affiliation with this huge fan base, at least Hollywood wise. You know?
You think he would go along with that, considering how much he loves young pussy?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
who doesn't?
That's almost cool. That if the thing,
Who doesn't?
if the thing you're known for outside of like what you do, like the demons in your closet is just that you love young pussy,
Yeah,
and like you love to fuck chicks. Like, that's pretty sweet that it's not, like, something dark.
Dude, I don't understand all these fuckers that gotta get an apparatus to fuck, or a person has to be a specific.
Now explain that to the
thing.
folks at home. What's an apparatus?
Explain the apparatus. The fifi, but...
Well, some fuckers, they're just like, you know, I can't come unless I'm covered in leather, or like, you gotta whip my balls, or humiliate me.
I think men who love
like,
sex are stupid.
I'm just
I think they have a lower IQ than
yeah, I'm
other
off the
people.
stuff.
I'm just saying, like, your dick has so
stand it.
many nerve endings in it. All you have to do is like touch a dick. Like, what's with all this extra stuff?
You have to touch a dick?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's all you have to do to come is touch somebody else's penis. That's why I love going to concerts in the pit and brushing up against somebody's penis, and then I just go into the bathroom and shoot a crazy load.
You can't explain it in such a clinical way, though. There's an art to it. You can't. It's not just like plugging in a TV.
not me, pal. I just I sometimes I'll just shock it. You know, I just get stimulation down there. It doesn't. But I just don't get the whole thing.
You got it's a whole. You got to put on a fire. You got to lower the lights.
It's
You
pure
got to call
boredom.
her mom.
It's pure boredom, probably, right? It's
What's
like
pure boredom?
Yes, I think
No,
so.
it's guys that are obsessed with power. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're saying like, and so they're obsessed with power, so they want somebody else to whip their balls.
Yeah, because it's a power dynamic. It's that same reason women like being dominated. It's like they're in a
Yeah,
position of power, and they want it taken away from them.
Usually, guys, that's the weird thing too, because those women like to get get in a simulation, basically.
Yes, yeah.
So, but also men who are very powerful in real life and have a lot of like, no one can fuck with me. I'm the truth.
Yeah.
Like those type of people. And obviously that comes from a deep insecurity if you're that type of guy. I don't give a fuck everybody. I'm the fucking shit. If you're like a Wall Street, like Wolf of Wall Street dude, those dudes usually in the bedroom, they're like, please beat the shit out of me. Piss in my mouth.
It's
take
the
a
only
shit
freedom
on me.
it's the only way they feel freedom.
Yeah, throw bugs on me. They usually people go the complete they're the complete opposite in the bedroom. That's why all those improv guys who are like, you know, my lady, like with the like, may I trouble you for a glass of ale? Like those types of ladies.
That's what you think improvisers are.
That's what they do.
I know.
They wear Hawaiian shirts that are way too tight, and they ruin parties all over Los Angeles. That's all they do. They move here to ruin parties. They wear lampshades on their head, and they can never stop
They're
being
party animals.
the worst character possible.
They're flossing their teeth in public.
It's the fucking
can't
worst.
stop.
I fucking hate everybody that I've met that's done improv is the worst person I've ever met. They're literally, I would rather hang out with Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
Well, we've
but they're
both
also-
done improv, so
Hey, what the fuck, man? No, but it's also people that are like obsessed with improv are also rich kids. There's no. It's like doing improv like as like a thing that you like continuously do because it's always classes and classes and classes. It's the same way as like someone who is a professional snowboarder. It's like that's or a skier or like a race car driver, even like that. Is somebody who grew up rich enough to have the means to be able to go take these classes or to
You have to
go
be able to afford
the
not to
snowboard
work.
slope every day. Like it's all that shit.
So, but those people were. I agree with that. But those people, they usually, you're like, oh, that guy's such a fucking sickly, nebbishy like a retard. Like what a fucking worthless, jello armed like bag of shit.
Yeah.
Brainless fucking cuck. And then they go, oh, you talking about John? And you go, yeah. And they go, they found like 9 women's bodies in his apartment. And I go, oh, okay. I didn't know he was like killing women.
And we're talking about anybody who's
That
done
doesn't-
improv.
Improviser. ever.
Just to be clear.
If I'm the head of the LAPD, right? I'm a detective at the LAPD. I got suspenders and I'm black and I have a mustache and a cigar. I would say we gotta get every last motherfucking guy who does improv in this fucking.
Shut it
city.
down.
And then you go
We're
with
gonna
a cigar.
investigate
You go like that. You're like, we're gonna get every one of them improvises in his town.
It is nice to quit comedy because then I don't have to watch all these people take their own lives.
That's
Oh, you
And
still
then-
you still have to watch
Yeah,
it.
then Bruce will like phone me and he'll go, "Oh yeah, you remember so and so? He threw himself in front of a train."
Oh yeah, I
I'm
did.
like, what?
Yeah,
I
dude.
did. I did tell him that. I did tell you all about that.
You hear about so and so? He strapped a bomb to himself and blew himself up downtown.
Yeah,
I'm like what?
in a field with nobody else around, he just exploded
Yeah.
his,
Dude,
his singular body.
He did that after he called me out from stage at an open mic. Fucking.
He was a good painter. I read his obituary.
yeah,
We should probably bleep out his name, by the way.
He was a poet. Yeah, we should probably just bleep the entire podcast. It's just one long beep. People are excited for the episode, and they're like, it's just one long.
Wait, hold on. You should bleep his name, just out of respect for
Yeah.
Not that he has any sort of lineage, but
Yeah,
God
yeah,
only
yeah,
knows.
yeah.
The man slithered out of an elephant, walking upright.
I'm sorry, I do have to go. I have to change clothes and.
All right, folks. Well, we'll
Wish
see you
I could
next
have
week.
farted into the mic just for old time's sake, but
Yeah,
I
juice
never
one
had
up.
to.
Feel free to send one in.
Yeah, send one in and we'll put it in.
Send one in. We'll throw it in there.
I'll mail you a jar of my farts.
So, I mean, we can edit in some farts. Absolutely. All right, folks. See you next
love
week.
you. Goodbye.